Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Curiolason with the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area, here on the next stop of our trip through Aldie, Virginia, this small village along modern Route 50, as we know was settled in the early 19th century along the Little River Turnpike. Now, as we discussed, the geography shaped this community from the very beginning. As settlers come through, they're going to populate this roadway, which is really the artery, not just of Aldie, but of southern Loudoun County and of this part of the Piedmont, connecting trade in Alexandria westward, eventually to Winchester to the west. Now, here in Aldie, if the turnpike is the main artery, then I would say this mill complex is the heart, the pumping heart that brings trade in and out of the town. We've alluded to the mill on previous stops on this tour, built by Charles Fenton Mercer and other business partners. But there's a lot more here than a mill. So I'm here with Tracy Gillespie. She is a site manager with the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority, Nova Parks. She manages several sites here along modern Route 50, including the mill complex. Tracy, tell us what all is here.
All right, I will tell you, and welcome to Aldie Mill. I like that we're the beating heart of the area. So as you can see, Anne-Marie, it's more than just one mill. This is the merchant mill. This is Aldie Mill as we know it today. But actually, if you go back into the 19th century, you would know this complex as Aldie Mills. It's more than just one mill. The merchant mill is the most prime part of it, certainly. But we also have a custom mill or a country mill. We also have a store here. We have homes. We have other types of businesses here. When Mercer begins this business enterprise, really, when he's opening what I sometimes call a flower factory, he's realizing that he's going to have a lot of opportunity not only to get goods to market, but to help out the farmers that are living north and west of here. So he opens up the Aldie Mills complex, if you will, by 1809. It's going strong all through the 19th century. You know as well as I do, there are dozens of mills in Loudoun County. You can go any direction for several miles and run across names of roads that are something mill roads.
Or Trace, talking about some of the infrastructure that goes along with building your mill.
Right, so lots of mills, definitely, dozens and dozens of them. Aldie Mill is probably is the largest mill, most productive mill of its time in the early and mid 19th century.
That's exactly right. And as we know, the mill will also attract not just farmers, but other folks who are going to settle here. The mill complex being built by 1809, the town is incorporated by 1811. We're going to have a couple of churches come into town. As we know, if you're coming from the area of Gilbert's Corner, you're going to see a tavern. You might see a couple of churches, houses, and the town looks much the same as it did then. It has businesses, restaurants, a school, etc. So the mill here really remained that focal point, and not just through the Civil War. As we know, there is a Mosby's Rangers encounter here in March of 1863, but post-war and well into the 20th century, the mill continues.
Well into. Actually, we're open, we're grinding, we're operating until 1971. Again, still one of the more productive mills around. But the other thing to note is as time goes on, we're adding more and more to the mill complex. So we're starting with corn and wheat. But by the time you get to the time of the Civil War, we're grinding any kind of grain you can think of. We also have a sawmill here. We have a plaster mill, a distillery. We're still trying to figure out where the distillery was, but we think it was back in this area somewhere. We're still working on that. Plaster mill, so that we're actually producing a fertilizer to go back to the farmers that are bringing their product here. So it's really a full circle, really quite a business.
And it's a wonderful cross-section, too, of the society, the folks that live here in this area. We know that James Monroe's farm up at Oak Hill, they're producing grain that is brought down here to Aldie to be ground. We know that a number of enslaved peoples are either rented out or hired out here at the mill complex to work. It's a cross-section, of the community. It's everyone is connected, to this part of the town. And I'd like to think that The idea of this being a resource for the community, of course, continues into the 21st century as a mill complex that you can visit today.
You can.
And I think you can even see the mill running on different
You
days.
can. Thank you. We have a miller here. He's been here for over 20 years, and he operates the mill on weekends from mid-April to mid-November. That's because this big building is not heated. So we're not open right now. You can come and visit the site. You can walk around and read our interpretive signs now. But the mill is actually open in warmer months. We do grind corn into cornmeal still. And again, as you say, Anne-Marie, we feel we're still a part of the center of the community here. There's a little bit of history here for everybody.
Thank you, Tracy. And we have a few more stops here in Aldie that we'll make throughout the town. Please make sure to come visit Aldie, come walk through the village, come visit the mill complex, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later.